Welcome to the Bougie Black Brother Network. Welcome back to Car Wax, and I'm here with my co-host, the Bougie Brother Sean. What up, dude?
Yay.
So, second half, I wanted to get into Young Thug, and Sean and I have been listening to him off and on. He's been featured on a couple of things. I think he did the one with Future, right? Was it Future?
Yeah.
And I like the cat. And then I think he came out with one other one, and I was like, he needs to come back. Because Super Slimy was fucking really good. But as the slime language, I didn't really like.
Right. Yeah, that slime language could have, it was definitely a pass on that.
Yeah, that was a definite pass. So I was a little cautious when I opened this one up. But
J. Cole produced this.
Yeah, I was a little cautious.
Executive producer.
So I didn't see that. But what's your thoughts, partner? I'm gonna throw this one on you first.
Oh man, you're gonna throw it on me first.
I'm gonna throw it on you first. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I looked at the cover and I was just like, what is this? Why is he what? You know, and I was just like, okay, I'm assuming I seen the cover first and didn't know who it was, and then I seen the cover again, and then because I was scrolling through my timeline, and then I seen the cover again, and I seen who it was under, and I was like, whoa, Young Thug's dropping on Friday, you know, and then I looked at the cover, and then I was like, oh, it's like Little People. Oh, okay, that's cool.
A little airplane on the outside.
Yeah, man. But then when you look further down, it's Little Hymns.
Oh, it's Little Hymns. I didn't look that close.
All of them are like Little Hymns doing something. You know, him mowing the lawn and then him in the white outfits for the jury or whatever. So I was just like, okay, this should be interesting. And the first person that came into my mind was you.
Okay.
I was like, man, okay, I'm going to have to listen to this because Pop Duke's like Thug.
Yeah.
You know, so I really need to check this out. Not only that, I heard J. Cole executive produce this. So this should be interesting.
Interesting. Yep.
So, you know, that was literally the first thing I thought. This should be interesting. I wasn't like, it's going to be whack. You know, and again, I should have, man. Even a lot of my friends, I've been telling them to check the CD out. Even a lot of my friends, they're like, bruh, I'm not finna listen to this. I don't like Young Thug, man. I don't, you know.
You kidding me, man? Really?
Talking to a 45-year-old guy, he's like, no, man, I'm not listening to Young Thug, man. Do you see how and hear how he rap? He don't rap. And I'm just like, look, just listen to it, please.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, for me, I was just like, all right, man, this should sound like the one with the guitar on it. I was expecting something like that. Because remember, we reviewed that one too.
Mm-hmm. We did.
So I was just like, man, okay, I'm going to listen to this and I'm going to give it a shot, right? I listened to the first track. Man, I'm really going to give you a breakdown on it. Because moral of the story, I enjoyed this thoroughly. I really enjoyed this thoroughly, dog. I thought this whole album was like very, very well put together. I thought I was hearing him on a different tempo. Mm-hmm. And the tempo that it was more of an upbeat tempo for him. I wasn't used to hearing him constantly on an upbeat tempo. I'm used to hearing him on a little slow one, and he got to try to sing on it, and then he's super singing on the hook, and it's like, man, this is whack, you know. Right. But you know, so I go through the CD, you know, and the first track, and I was just like, okay, I can kind of hear him. You know what I'm saying? I hear what he's rapping. I literally hear what the hell he's talking about. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then the beat was straight.
Yep.
You know, so I was like, okay, this is a decent ass track, bruh. And then the second track came on with
Future.
And that blew my mind. Because the beat was good, but then they was on some other shit together. Like, you could tell they was damn near, they had to be in the studio together with that track. Because the way they were just kind of bouncing each other's ad libs off of each other, you know, like that whole song was ad libs, beats, ad libs, you know what I'm saying, and hook, you know, but you know, the more and more you listen to it, of course you can hear the verses, but it was like, man, the way they put that song together was like, wow, these dudes are fucking creative. But this is a super creative song.
But didn't you feel that when they did that one together anyway? You know what I'm saying?
You talking about the Super Slime?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't like this. This was like next level. This was like they were literally.
You think
like this opened my mind up to how they use ad libs. They literally were using ad libs like instruments. You know, and that fucked me up because I was listening to the song. And I was like, damn, they're using these ad libs as an addition to the beat. You know, not an addition to their verse.
But to the beat.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can kind of say it was addition to the verse, but it was definitely like they had ad libs strictly to play on the beat. Fuck a verse. You know, and it was like, damn, man, I'm bopping, and these niggas is just ad-libbing me out, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is hard. This shit is really hard, you know? And then the Ecstasy came out. And I was listening to it before before they put Machine Gun Kelly on it.
Really?
Yeah, and that verse, like, he was snapping on the Ecstasy track. I was like, this is hard. He's snapping. I can hear him. You know, that was one of the most important parts of this whole album. I could hear him. And I was like, man, he's kind of snapping, dog. You know, so, and then the beat was hard. And I was like, okay, you know, for personally, since I heard the verses with Machine Gun Kelly not on it, I could have listened to it with him not on it, you know, but his verse was cool, you know. But then the Hot came on with Gunna and Weezy on the beat. I was like, man, this shit is fucking stupid. The beat was fucking crazy, whatever. Then I go, and honestly, man, all the tracks he was by himself were like really good tracks. Yeah, you know, and I would say, yeah, he had a lot of features on there. He did, but it was like, it didn't matter really, because he's the type of artist that needs features. Because too much of him is gonna be like,
yeah, you really get a little redundant with his ass. Yeah.
You know, so again, the executive producer was like, no, it's cool. We gonna use these features. You know, we just gonna find the best features to play on it, because too much of you, man, it's just not gonna work out. You know, so the bad with Lil Baby, I thought that was gonna be cheesy. That worked out very well. And then he put on Lil Baby right after that. I was like, man, how cliche, you know what I'm saying? But that worked out very well. One of my favorite songs on the CD, I Just Let My Mama Hook Me Up, Girl, with Lil Uzi on there. It's man, that shit is hard. He got birds on the beat. There's birds chirping on the beat.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, this shit is beautiful. This is some. Shout out to the mama, what you want? What did you want me? What did you want me? I was like, this shit is fucking hard, dog. You know what I'm saying? You can play this anywhere. You can work out to it. You can play ball to it. You can goddamn ride in the car to it. This was like, man. And then I kept going. And I was just like, man, it was all sounding so well together. You know, just kind of going into everything, man. Everything was sounding so well together. Mm-hmm. Even when I went to Pussy. Listen, nigga, you a pussy, nigga. You a pussy. You a pussy, nigga. You a pussy. It was like, yeah, but okay. You know what I'm saying?
So that was like a tolerable one. You tolerated that shit.
Right. And then there was one that I didn't really like the hook, but the verses was hard.
Okay.
When he changed his voice on the verses. I was like, man.
Like, what are you doing?
He's clever, dog. No, yeah. It was Cartier Gucci was covered with the Cartier Gucci was covered. But he changed his voice on the verses, and I was like, oh man, that shit's creative, you know. But it also so three of my favorite songs. I really liked a lot of the CD, but three of my favorite songs was the Mannequin Challenge with Juice WRLD. Okay. It was the Lil Uzi Vert, What's the Move, and it was the Future track, Sup Mate. You know, those were like my top three. Okay. But the whole album was really good. I dealt with Pussy. I dealt with Cartier Gucci Scarf. Boy, back with Nav, that was cool. I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And then he put the J. Cole, you know, track at the end, which was super played out. That's why I'm glad they put it at the end as like a low-key bonus track. Mm-hmm. You know, because it didn't interfere with the rhythm of you not hearing nothing else and you getting the flow of it. And then they try to put this shit in the middle of it just because it's J. Cole. And it was like, nah, they didn't do that. They just, they
dropped it on the back end.
They stuck to the theme, you know, so much fun, you know, and again, they didn't have a lot. It was a bunch of it was a bunch of Thug, but it wasn't a lot of Thug with the features on there. This album really reminded me of a Future album. The DS2, the Dirty Sprite 2. I definitely want to say that because of just how it was put together and the sound and the up-tempo of it, you know, and everything. But I was highly impressed. Highly impressed.
I like Young Thug. I like him. He's a little different than most. But when you put the features, and I'm going to go back to what you said about the features. His voice and the way he does certain things, it will get redundant. And you're going to be like, damn, man, let me skip this one. Let me see what's the next one. Oh, let me skip this one. Let me get the next one. But because he has the features, they offset him. And then he'll do something on his own. He'll be like, oh, okay, that one's cool. And then it goes in. But he has a lot of fucking features on him. He does have a lot of features on him. But it's okay. I think the production went really well for him.
Yes.
I think, you know, Cole took his time to say, let's kind of blend this. Because remember, we always talking about the arrangement of it. I don't think anything was out of line. I have to agree with you when it comes to the Travis Scott, J. Cole. That should have been that's pretty different than the rest of them that's on this whole thing. And it's like 19 cuts. That should have been way on the back end. And it was perfect that one was on the bottom end. But everybody else played into who, you know, Young Thug is. They played really well with that. I loved all the ones with Gunna. Like Hot and Surf. Gunna does pretty good when he's with people too. He's another guy that does really well with other people.
With features.
Yeah, he does really well. He ad-libs really well when it comes to just throw Gunna on there so he can spice that up a little bit. Bad. I like that with Lil Baby though. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed the way they kind of done that. And What's the Move with Lil Uzi Vert? That was a surprise, but it was okay. But 21 Savage showed up and I'm scared. There you go, 21 like again. Yeah, that crazy motherfucker just showed up once again. The Doughboy, I'm kind of trying to remember him. But I like that track. I really actually like that track.
He's a California artist. He's actually kind of new.
Okay.
So we'll be getting around to him soon. But
so it should be coming up. What about the Circle of Bosses with Quavo? What did you think about that?
I like that.
Did you?
That was better than I expected.
Okay, better than what you expected.
Yeah, because I thought it was going to be a little cheesy, the typical, you know, Quavo, but, you know, Quavo has it. You know, Quavo has, you know, just because his album wasn't good and now that we heard him solo, I guess there's a little bias about him now, for me personally. But when I heard that, like I said, I was expecting some type of something different, but he came with it. He was cool. It wasn't too much of him. It balanced out with Thugger for me.
Okay. I just maybe, I'm glad you said it the way you said it. Maybe I was expecting more from it. if I was expecting, his album didn't do really well. Let me see what he shows up on here. I think I would look at it like, oh, that ain't bad. But I think I was expecting more because his album wasn't that good in my mind. Mm-hmm. So I just thought it was okay. But if you look at it like you was disappointed, you have to start showing up now. And he showed up on here. So I have to agree with you on that. He showed up and it wasn't bad. Was it great? Nah, it wasn't great. He played really well with Thugger. So I'm glad you gave me that perspective of think back of what his release was by itself. Think about that, but think about now once he's showing back up again, he has to start recovering, and he did a good recovery on that. Okay, now that's a good perspective though. But overall, man, I like Young Thug. When he comes out with some bullshit, it bothers me, but I still like him. And once again, so much fun. This came out, and I'm kind of like, wow, okay, all right. Back to liking you like I should, man. And he had enough people on there to offset the redundancy of the way his voice sounds on certain things and all.
There was an interview he had with Big Boy from L.A., and he kind of said that J. Cole told him to, stop singing. Take this rap shit a little more serious. You're better than you're portraying to be. Just rap more. Mm-hmm. And he said after, he heard that from Cole, he said he got a very high regard for Cole. He said when he was on tour with him, because remember we was talking about he went on tour with Cole.
Yep.
He said on tour with Cole, J. Cole opened up at the tour as Kill Edward. And then closed the show as J. Cole.
Wow.
So okay. He said that was one of the things he admired, and he said right after he finished on stage, he went with his wife and his son back to the hotel or back where they was at. So you really you had to catch him to kick it with him. Mm-hmm. So Thugger was like, look, man, I'm one of 11. So, I had to make sure we wasn't finna just be on tour and you just not talking to me and nothing, so.
Right.
But he, like I said, he said that, you need to take this rap shit a little more serious, man, and dig into it instead of, so he said, I'm used to putting music out that I want to put out so people could see my world. But I decided to put something out that, again, was so much fun that, everybody was going to like. He's like, man, I had this material. A lot of this material ain't new. Like, a lot of this material is just old. I just, I wasn't ready to put it out because it wasn't what I wanted to put out. It wasn't the direction that I wanted to go. But, I always got this material. It's here. Okay. I was like, damn.
Well, that's a good thing, though. I give him a lot of respect for that. So, replay value. What you think?
Oh, man. This is a surprise. He surprised the fuck out of me. I'm listening to this.
Okay.
This is in high rotation. This is one of the best albums coming out of the South this year.
Damn, Sean. You sure you want to say that?
Coming out of the South. Coming out of the South. See, hear the words.
Okay. All right.
So again, man, I thought it was a complete project. I thought, if Dreamville is one of the top albums, then yeah, it's up there with the Dreamville album.
Okay.
For me.
And DaBaby? Better than DaBaby?
Ooh, man. Production-wise, hell yeah.
Well, yeah. But when you, because remember, you're going to rate how it was put together, how he performed, level of features. Did he control the aspect of this release that he had? I think this was good for Young Thug. But I think, to your point, this was put together for him. Because he has entirely a lot of fucking features, a little more than half.
Yeah, man, this is DaBaby's first industry album, or the first album
was phenomenal.
Being exposed as an industry rapper.
Yeah.
You know, this is, you know, Thug has been in the game, so it's a little bit different.
Okay.
That's the only reason why I give Thug a head up, because he's almost a veteran in the game.
Okay.
Well, he is a veteran in the game. Let's say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and it yeah. So as far as rookie, oh yeah, man, the baby. As far as like initial album, I'm gonna have to really look and see if this is his initial rookie album.
Who's that? The
But
baby?
you know, if we can qualify the baby as this being his rookie album, a rookie solo studio album, then yeah, that gets a lot of clout.
Okay. Okay. But overall, the Young Thug, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I'm I criticize a lot because of the amount of features sometimes that artists have. I think this went well for him because of the type of rapper he is. I
Right.
think because the features balanced his whole album out, so you wouldn't get tired. If not, you would have had to have this about 12 cuts. If you would have took a lot of these features out, I think I probably would have tolerated 12 cuts and said, yeah, not bad of an album. But if he got, what is it, 19?
Mm-hmm.
19, and that was okay. That was okay. It was only an hour and 2 minutes, but 19 was spread out pretty decently. I don't think there was too many. It was only one at 4, and that was the one with Little Uzi Vert. But they averaged in like the low 3-minute mark. He had a couple of twos, but the low 3-minute mark, and that's a good level of time that you should be listening to a fucking cut before you move on. So that was a great arrangement on that. Nothing fell out of range for me. Like, damn, that should have been moved. I don't know about that. I think the arrangement went well. It started off good, just how it is, like you said. That started off like, oh, okay, cool. Now I can sit back and listen to the whole thing.
Right.
As opposed to sometimes it starts off and be like, whoa, I wonder where this is going. You know what I mean? It just got me into, cool, sounds like this is going to get into something. And then you started looking forward to how the features played off with him. And the features played off really well with him on almost every single one of them. Because I can't think of one that I can say, man, maybe Lil Duke should have been in there. Oh, maybe, what's that, Lil Keed. It didn't stand out to the point for me to criticize it. So I got it to the point that I was able to go through this and pretty much enjoy it. And again, replay value. I give it replay value. If you give me this one, I'm going to listen to this. That's why I'm going to rate this as an even 8. I'm not going to go too higher than that.
Ooh,
because right. I'm still at the point of, how do you compare them to a lot of other things that I'm listening to? I just like this one, and this one was done really well.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Even though you like him, it's kind of hard to compare it with everything else out here.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's only fair, though. That's only fair.
So I definitely totally agree, man. I'll say it like this. For a Young Thug album, man, this gets a 9.2. Like, for a Young Thug album.
For a Young Thug album, okay.
Good album.
Okay.
This is a really good album.
For him.
I would never expect anything this consistent out of him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't expect anything this well put together. This is a body of work. He has a team that somebody talked to him about arranging this properly. It reminded me of Dirty Sprite 2. And the person who arranged that was, I think it was Metro Boomin.
Okay.
I think Metro Boomin arranged that whole album and that caused it to be a classic.
Right.
So, with J. Cole touching hands on this, as that. So, but outside of that, I'm still giving it a solid 8.5.
Oh, okay.
Because again, man, the beats were phenomenal. You can put any beat on and you're like, okay, this is solid.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you start listening to the hook, you're like, okay, so
great arrangement.
He did what he needed to do.
Yeah. So I give you that. I give you that. I just think for the genre and the ones that I will consistently listen to, this would be a replay, but not as high as a couple of other ones that I already have. Already got bookmarked. I got a couple more. For example, I like and we're gonna get to that. The Little Brother. I fucking like that. The Rhapsody. What was the other one? The J. Cole group shit. You gotta
Dreamville, Revenge of the Dreamers.
Gotta have that. Come on now. So I got a couple of other ones. The Baby. I'm gonna keep bringing that dude up because when I start sorting through people, he entertains the shit out of me, and I keep hearing him as a feature on a lot of other people's stuff, and he tears it up, and I'm like, man, the Baby is the shit. The dude, man, we need to hear more of him. But there's others. This for the South, and you could take away Dreamville and what you call it. I'm talking South as in Atlanta rappers type. Yes, he's the best that's come out this year.
What about Texas?
The Maxo Cream. That was okay. I mean, that was okay though. That didn't stand out for me. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. That just didn't stand out. I think that was good, because I was kind of like, oh, that's different. Just like what our review said. It was different for me. But I was still not like, yeah, whatever. Big Crit, big time replay value for me.
B.O.B.
Oh, that shit was the shit, dude. Come on now. Now you coming with them. So see, these are the ones that I have it more high, and I ranked them higher than this one. That's why this was at a good 8. If those weren't on my list, I would have probably said, yeah, here you go. This is the one that is probably one of the hottest ones of the year. And I love how they put the features on there because it just worked out. It worked out really, really well. But yeah, I'm still good with an 8, an even 8. But I respect your 8.5 because I see your point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. This is false. I don't think I'm ever gonna hear another album like this come from him.
Yeah, but you may though. Think about this though, because he has the exposure. He has someone he's looking to who talked to him in a way to say, be better with what you're doing. So he may have a different perspective when he comes out again. You know what I mean?
Hopefully, but
yeah, hopefully. I mean, we can only wish, right? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's cool. That's respectful, I guess.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Thugger, man.
All right, Thugger doing his damn thing, but cool. The Bougie Black Brother Network. Check us out, or go to bougieblackbrother.com. See all the other podcasts that we have. So you can catch us on the Bougie Black Brother Network on YouTube or all podcast downloads. Car Wax. That's Car Wax. We appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you next time on Car Wax. Peace.